All right, hey guys, OFD checking in here on a Sunday, and today it's going to be kind of a quick one, but I wanted to show you guys a watch from a WMT watch experimental unit. This is a company that is really getting popular these days. You can actually go over to their website, which I'll leave down below in the description, and you can design your own watch. This one happens to be from their Royal Marine lineup. They have a few different lineups or base models you can start with. This is the warranty card for the watch, giving you the sales date itself, the Royal Marine being the model of the watch, and it's actually used as the instruction manual because very simple instructions, and all the watches from their company run the same Miyota movement. I'll tell you a little bit more about that as we get into the watch. So pulling this off the top here, let's see what comes in the packaging. Now, of course, you can see your watch down here. This was a custom built watch. I think Scott maybe had something to do with building this watch. Scott from Watches Galore got this tour started, so thank you, Scott, for sending it out. But and I'll leave links to all the channels that are going to be on the tour down below in the description. But inside here, you also get the watch, the strap removal tool, and you get this little glass vial, which has some extra watch pins in it, it looks like. So let's go ahead and pull the watch out and take a quick look-see. So obviously, as you guys can see, some vintage inspiring going on here. You can see wear and age in the bezel and also in the dial of the watch. It's called a quark dial on this watch. I think that's what it says down there, the quark dial on this watch. So very different, very cool looking. You can see the aged patina given to the lume plots on the watch. We'll do a lume shot at the very end. And you can see this almost bleach style bezel insert on the watch. Taking a look at the side of the case, also they've got some kind of a process where they're aging this watch to give it a really cool vintage look. Domed mineral crystal on this watch. I wish they had used an acrylic crystal, but the domed mineral crystal definitely looks nice on the watch. Case size on this watch is a 39.5 from side to side, so great case size. Comes in at just under 48. I measured a 47.5 from lug tip to lug tip. 20 millimeter lug opening on the watch, and it comes in at 14.7 to the top of that domed crystal, partially to do with that crystal. They're using a bigger case back on the watch. The Miyota movement is the 821A in this watch. It's a great movement, 21 joules, hacking, hand windable, 42-hour power reserve, but it's also quite a thick little movement. It comes in at over 5 millimeters of thickness. Actually, I think over 5.5, so it's pretty thick movement in this watch, but it's a really good workhorse movement. Now, you can get different dial designs on these watches. You can get a checkered style dial design. You can get different handsets. This happens to be just the way this watch was sent out to the channel to take a look at. So you can get all kinds of different styling. You get the vintage. I think the vintage lume is used on all of the different models. Up there just below 12 o'clock, you guys can see the WMT watch experimental unit. Down there at the bottom, you can see the cork, the 100 meters, 330 feet, water resistance, and automatic. So this is not going to be a true diver's watch, guys, with that 100 meters of water resistance. But I don't think there's anyone out there that's going to flood this watch by wearing it. It does have a screw-down crown on it. Like I said, the movement is hacking and hand windable. The crown itself is protected by these pointed crown guards here, which come to a nice point. They're not squared off. They look really classic and vintage on the watch. Taking a listen to the 120 click bezel on the watch, it has a really good crisp feel and sound, and it locks in very solid. Not any backplay really, to be honest with you, that I can notice. No springy backplay or sponginess to the dial itself, or the bezel, excuse me, itself. Nice beveled cuts in the bezel make it easy and grippy to grab onto. This one particular model is on the NATO strap. You can get different straps on the watches, leather straps, but let's go ahead and take a quick look at the case back on the watch. Zoom in here just real quick so you guys can see the watch experimental unit, automatic movement JP for Japan, all 316L stainless construction. And this is interesting. I don't really know what this is about. The concept September 1950. So I don't know if that's a birth date or not quite sure. And then this is probably going to be a serial number down here at the bottom. So go ahead and get the strap back on the watch. So guys, these watches start out at $330 over there at the website when you're going to build them. That's for the Royal Marine. I'm not sure if I didn't check the prices on the other models, but I think they're very similar. And then depending on the accessorizing you do to the watch, they can get up to around $400, $410. So cool watch. It's neat that you get to have your hands in, not your hands, but get to design the watch and get to actually be part of the designing of the watch. And the watch is going to come out and be unique to you, at least, if no one else chooses all the same options you did. But they are a little bit pricey, so there's going to be quite a bit of competition out there, but not a lot of those companies actually allow you to build your own watch or design your own watch. So it's a neat concept. So let's go ahead and pause it and let's try this watch on my 7-inch wrist. All right, guys, so there you go. On my 7-inch wrist, this 39.5 millimeter case fits and wears very well, especially that it comes in under the 48 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip. It just sits perfectly on the wrist. Even on a NATO strap like this, it's going to push it up a little bit. It doesn't feel too bulky or anything like that. Very, very clean feeling watch on the wrist. So let's go ahead and dim the lights and go out with a lume shot. All right, now to be honest with you guys, I'm not sure at all what type of lume they use. I'm sure it's said over at the website. I may have seen it, not paid enough attention, but it is a patina, so I'm not sure how much. Whoa, knocked my camera there a little bit. Not sure how much that's going to glow, but it actually looks pretty doggone good. Got some good. I don't think the pip doesn't look like it's loomed up there. It's kind of a bummer since it has a big white spot like it is loomed, but good looking watch from WMT. Remember, you guys can have the hand in designing these watches, and that's really the fun of it all, is that you're actually designing the watch. I was just over at the website playing with it and built one that it was really cool. It was hard for me to not put it in the basket and buy it, but I didn't. I've got other stuff coming, guys, so stay tuned to the channel, check it out. I need to do a follow-up review, guys, on my SKX011J, which I've had for about a week. I put it on a stock Jubilee bracelet, and it just wears so good, guys. I got to do a follow-up on that. And I've also got some watches, some for sale videos coming up. I'm selling a couple watches for Scott over at Watches Galore, so stay tuned for that. Probably tomorrow night we'll be doing that one. So all right, guys, if you like the video on the WMT, the Royal Marine Diver, give me a thumbs up down there at the bottom. And if you've not subscribed to the OFD channel yet, please do. Please do. All right, thanks, guys.